Welcome back to Fantasy Football by Committee, powered by Flurry Sports. It can be tough to win a fantasy league on your own, but at FFBC, we will work together to bring home the hardware. Hosted by Zach Bruner and the rest of the Flurry Sports crew, we will give top-level analysis, answer your questions, and, well, go off on other tangents.
That was after I tried to get ChatGPT to admit that 9/11 was an inside job, but it stood firm. It gave quite a few solid points that it was true.
Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about some other running backs, though, in terms of pickups, other than the rookie in Denver, Jaleel McLaughlin. We got a lot of people flocking to Matt Breida, the backup, obviously, veteran backup in New York for Saquon Barkley. I don't feel the need to do that. I don't really care. I don't think you need to do that. Jaylen Warren in Pittsburgh. Again, I understand that he has a week-to-week role. I understand that it might be a growing role. I understand that he's going to get touches. I understand all of that. It's still a terrible offense, one of the worst in the league. And if the offense gets better, don't you think it's going to be because one of the best players on the offense is playing better? And that's not Jaylen Warren. That's Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a better football player. Pretty simple. If the Steelers are better and they're able to play with a lead, Najee Harris is going to be involved heavily. He's going to be running the ball. So I like Jaylen Warren. If you're desperate, I suppose he can be a flex play for you, but don't care. I don't care enough. You don't need to do that. Justice Hill, people are saying, is a big pickup. You know who I'd rather go instead of Justice Hill? Who, past seasons I liked him. I think he's done. I just don't think he's going to be that great going forward. Obviously, I like Gus Edwards the most out of that backfield. Again, another take I got shit for. He's very efficient. He's just a good player. I would rather pick up Keaton Mitchell, rookie for Baltimore, who started the year injured, started the year on the PUP list, I believe, but he should be able to come back this week now. I would rather pick him up and stash him and see if he can emerge. I'd rather pick him up than Justice Hill. And I can only assume, I'll look. I mean, Keaton Mitchell's got to be 0% owned. He's got to be unowned almost fully. He is this ownership here? 2% owned in ESPN fantasy leagues. Rookie running back, super talented. He could be the Lightning to Gus Edwards' Thunder in 2 or 3 weeks. I think that would be a very, very easy thing to project. Justice Hill, I think, is a good player. 29% owned. Again, we're talking about upside. Are you picking up Justice Hill to play him this week? If so, then pick him up. If you're picking up Justice Hill to stash and see if he becomes something, I'd rather switch out Mitchell for Justice Hill. Take the sure thing if you need a bye week fill in. If you're looking for a stash, take the upside. At this point in the season, Freddie wants to know what's my outlook on Jonathan Taylor and Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall's getting healthier, which is good to see. Healthier, he gets more touches he's going to get. Obviously, a great player. His ceiling is capped at an RB2 this year because of the offense, because of the offensive line, because of Dalvin Cook. So I think more often than not this year, rest of season, I think more often than not, he's a flex with upside. As bad as that feels to say, I think he's a high-end flex, but I think he's a flex with upside. If he's your RB2, I wouldn't panic, but I'm not feeling great about that. Jonathan Taylor, and all we can do is speculate. Because truly, if Jim Irsay says one thing wrong to Jonathan Taylor, does this whole fiasco bullshit just start up again? Because Jonathan Taylor's been unpredictable to the point, obviously, I'm a Wisconsin sports fan, been around the Wisconsin team when he was there. doing stuff. Like, I love Jonathan Taylor, incredible human being, incredibly smart human being, and he's been uncharacteristic of himself this entire preseason training camp. And it's because of that new agent, that bullshit MMA agent that he signed. He's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Jonathan Taylor is being a dick to like just the workers in the Colts building, talking about like chefs, talking about trainers, talking about people like that. So that's scary to me. Like, it's just super uncharacteristic of who Jonathan Taylor is as a person. I don't like it. And that's why I'm still hesitant on him. If he comes back and plays like Jonathan Taylor, he is a low-end RB1, high-end RB2. Again, Colts offense overall isn't amazing. Running back scarcity makes him a hot commodity. That offensive line for the Colts isn't incredible. Could we see them spell Taylor a little bit with Zach Moss? I think Zach Moss continues to have a role. He's earned that for sure. But yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor, low-end RB1, high-end RB2 more often than not. But he is a guy, again, I don't know if I can trade for him just because I'm so hesitant. It would be rolling the dice. It's a risk that could absolutely pay off. That could be a league-winning move to trade for Jonathan Taylor. But, boy, that situation's weird. I do think he plays out the rest of the year with the Colts, though. Like, meaning I don't think he plays for another team. If Jonathan Taylor twists an ankle and he wants to sit out the rest of the year, I think that would be something. I think he wants to manage his body. I think his goal truly is to get to the offseason healthy. And rightfully so. I mean, whatever. But I think that's his goal. You're not getting points for that. So that's why he's not an obvious RB1. I'm not saying he's going to be the record-breaking, dominating Jonathan Taylor that he was a couple years ago. But I don't think he's going to be as bad as he was last year either. Somewhere in the middle.